All right. All right. So we're gonna do some practice for for uh RSync. So because because um the reason is because I honestly need you guys because I need practice, and you guys are out there probably watching, so hopefully you guys just enjoy the content with the God's help. And yeah, because like check this out. Um, we got this thing over here, properties, and it's literally almost out of what's it called? Space over here. So there's only like 8 GB left, and what we have going on is on the other computer. Um, there's like a bunch of space over there. So and we honestly have a couple computers that just need backup. So we're gonna try to do. We're gonna try to learn a little bit of RSync. Um, and I need to learn it. So you guys um can what's it called? Fasten your seatbelts over there. And with God's help, we'll learn our RSync together because it's a valuable skill. I've done a little bit of RSync before, and um, what's it called? Um, it's pretty simple. You just run a couple of commands, uh, and it copies your file and sends it across the uh, local area network, or public area network, or whatever. Um, the big network. Um, there's a specific name for it. One of you guys probably might know over there what it's called. But it's um, you know pretty nice when you could figure it out. All right, so let's check it out. Okay, okay, so let's see. Okay, so rsync can do a couple things like, excuse me, you can like you excuse me like you can do a stage copy and paste, and not really paste anything, just make a simulation. You can copy from your device onto a hard drive. Um, the question is, even for that, how do you make sure all the files are there that you copied? You know? Great question. When you use rsync, even for something as simple as copying files from your device to a hard drive, use checksum. Alright, so okay. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this checksum thing. So checksum, rsync, show progress. Okay, what is archive mode? Okay, so we gotta ask what's archive mode. What is archive mode? Great question. Archive mode, non-special archive. It just tells rsync to preserve as much metadata as possible when copying flags. What does it actually do? Oh yeah, this whole thing. Recursively copy directories, copy system links, preserve file permissions, preserve. Okay. So archive mode is recursively copy directories, RL copy symlinks as symlinks p preserve file permissions t preserve modification times g preserve group excuse me, ownership, preserve group ownership, O preserve owner if as root, and D preserve device files and special files if root. Alright, so that's archive mode. So archive mode, verbose, and then what did it say before? It's archive mode, verbose, and compare. See, okay, so a archive mode V is verbose, and C is copy checksums. Checksums. All right. So dry run to simulate the copy. All right. Let's see. Dry run simulate copy. All right. So let's see. So dang, this stuff is crazy, you guys. In a good way. It's on another level. Alright. So how to copy onto a hard drive though. Alright, let's see what it gives back as a response. Oh. Alright, let's see what it says back. Let's see. Oops. Hold up. Alright, so we got the guy connected over here. We got this disk drive over here. So let's see. The disk drive has a very nice amount of free space. Thank God. All right. So let's figure out what to call this thing. Okay. Because this does a very good job at what's it called? Doing this. So yeah, definitely, guys should if you can get Easy Store by WD or whatever that one thing is called. It was super cheap. It wasn't that expensive. Excuse me. So if you guys don't have the money though, I pray that you guys will come across it. So let's get it. All right, let's see this. So what we're gonna do? What would you name a folder that you want to paste stuff in from computer to test RSYNC. Excuse me. All right. Excusez-moi. All right. Great question. When testing RSYNC, you want a clear and safe destination, folder name that makes it obvious. It's just for testing. Okay. Copy test, dry run. Let's do that. That sounds cool. Dry run folder, dummy destination. Okay. New folder. Excuse-moi. Dry run folder. Dry run folder. All right. We got this dry run folder over here. Hello. All right, so we got dry run folder. All All right, so what we want to do is try first dry run. Excuse me. All right, so find out drive run is lsblk. All right, let's figure out what this thing is. Okay, what is lsblk? List block devices. That's interesting. All right, let's try to run it. Clear WSL. Let's see what this guy gives as a return. WSL. All right, so now it's in. All right, so lsblk. All right, nice. Oh, this is very cool. All right, so all right, so we got to figure out how to read this stuff. So list block devices, list block devices. All right. What is a block device? And to read this, excuse me, this response. All right. Great question. What is a block device? A storage device that writes data in fixed chunks called blocks. State device, SSD. Block device, any that reads and writes data fixed chunks called blocks. All right, hard drives, SSDs, USB drives, swap partitions. That's very interesting. All right, so how you read your last block? Okay. Device breakdown, read only. All right. So this is the total memory, not how much is left. Correct. LSB. Okay. Shows the total size. If you want to see how much space is used or free used, DFH. All right. What does DFH mean though? Free. Disk free. All right, disk free. All right, disk free. Disk free. H. Oh, human readable. Is there a way to just select one device though? All right, to show the usage for just file system one block device, first figure where it's mounted. Here's B drive. Yeah. SSD. All right. All right, so that's probably what it is. Oops. Oh, what? Um, be okay. Oh, that's where it is. What? That's weird. Close. Should be. This also doesn't work. Or does it? Yeah, I see. What was the difference? Oh, SDD. Oh, that's why. That's why it's called that. That's interesting. Not SSD, SDD. Could you just do this though? That's the question. How are these block devices named, by the way? So if you connect another device, will it be SDD also? Alright, let's figure this guy out over here. Great question. This is SBA SBC SDA. Interesting. SD stands for CSCI. How to get consistent naming optional. That's interesting. An interesting thing. Alright, so it just names it differently. Alright. Here and there. Dev S SDD. What? Excuse me. Alright. Directory. Why you can't do... This is a block list, not a file directory. So Got you. All right, let's figure this out. What does it mean? It's a file directory, and not like a. It's not a file. No. Everything on Linux. Absolutely fantastic question. You're spot on with the idea everything on Linux is a file, but there's a more nuance. Yes, everything's a Linux, but not all files are directories. Yeah. Here's a breakdown. Regular file. Directory or folder contains our files. Okay. Block device. Interface. Okay, let's go to dev real quick. Let's go to dev. Alright, so first of all, what is dev? Okay, first of all, what is dev? Okay, excuse me. Alright, contains special files, current terminal, the black hole. It's interesting. Random number generator, mouse device, backdisk file. When do Linux developers usually learn about the dev there, by the way? Oops, sorry guys. Great question. You're asking really deep insight into the learning journey. Beginner stage, power users, mount, unmount. That's interesting. Advanced users, system admins. That's funny. Embedded Linux hackers. Why is the second step learning to use mount? Okay, let's see. Awesome. You're asking why do people typically learn early in this? And this is deep systems thinking question. Why do intermediate users learn mount and mount? Because it's the first time they realize Linux doesn't auto mount everything like Windows or Mac. They plug in a USB and nothing happens. All right. Okay, gotcha. They plug in a USB and nothing happens. On Windows, plug in USB shows up as a drive letter or on desktop. Raw Linux plug in, it doesn't mount automatically. This device is not usable until it's mounted into the file system. So they Google USB not showing up on Linux, and they find commands like, that's funny. LSBLK becomes a friend. They learn to use LSBLK, list block devices, list available devices. They find their USB. They found out what's mounted and what's not. Then they learn mount and unmount. That's funny. Oh, gotcha. Why this happens around the second stage of learning. At beginner stage, you're just learning. You're using the terminal to edit files or run apps. Stay in your home directory. Intermediate stage, you start backing up files using USB sticks and external drives, using booting and dual booting or accessing Windows partitions. You need to understand the storage structure. Okay. All become essentials. If you want a practice track like learn storage, okay. Fine, alright. So how come you learn this though in the third step though? Excellent. Why do if I think wrong the message? This is about why and when people need to learn dev. Mounting stage 3. At this level, you're doing more serious work like partitioning a blank disk. As disk are part of it. Partitioner. You learn to create new partitions, making file systems. That's pretty cool. You now know the difference between raw device, partition, file system. What you agree with? Mounting raw device. Alright. Alright, fine. Okay. Alright. Mount. Already right now. So no. Alright, fine. Also in Linux WSL, it auto mounts folders, auto mounts block devices, get connected like. Yes, you're totally right to notice that. Alright. I don't know, what is this? What? What? Dang, that's crazy, man. How do you even know how to do this? Hold up. All right. What type of file directory is this? Great observation. The directory structure of, alright, directory structure. You see under, looks exactly like a full Linux root file system by design. Great observation that the directory structure you're seeing under mount looks exactly like a full Linux root file system, that's by design. What type of directory this is mounted? This is a mounted virtual file system used by WSL Windows subsystem for Linux. Why does it need this? How is it created? Alright, let's see. Mount WSL G. There's nothing here. WSL. That's crazy, man. D. D drive, yeah, that's crazy, man. CD mount. CD. D. There you go. Alright, anyway. So what we want to do is what we want to go so we're gonna make a new okay, we're just gonna do cat hello cat, okay, okay, fine. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna do RSYNC A V A H C checksums dry run. So we're gonna copy it from here. All right. Excuse me. All right, we're gonna do this. We'll figure this guy out real quick. So block device. Oops. Where did this guy go? All right. All right. So we got source, destination. All right, so this is the signature thing over here. RSYNC AVC source destination. All right. So we got all right. All right, we got this guy. Okay, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. RSync dry run, and then we got source is our dot ish, and the place we want to put it is mtd, and the place is dry. So this one is specifically called dry run. Yeah. Dry run folder. Oh, what? That's funny. Alright, it's not even installed. Alright, let's install this guy real quick. Alright, so we installed RSync over here. Now this should work. Syntax error, unknown option, dry run. Maybe it needs two dashes. Okay. Alright, so this is how it would work. Probably sent, received, true. Alright, so this means the output is how it be if it, although it's a simulation. Exactly, you're reading RSync output correctly. Where is the checksum though? Let's do it without the checksum. Sent. That's funny. Okay. What checksum does when you write checksum, option tells don't just compare the files, read the entire compare checksum. This ensures because the what if you want to recur great, if you want to recursively check the file checksums, create checksums for each directory, compare checksums, create checksums for each directory. All right. All right. You have this called? All right, so this is some good stuff, you guys. This is probably what we're gonna do next video, with God's help. So what we did this class is we used RSYNC, and we tried to copy some stuff, and we did do a copy. Next one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna probably make a checksum, file checksum, checksummer file, like a recursive checksum that will check the folders and make sure that we have all the files that we copied from one device to the other. All right, so with God's help, we'll do this, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. With God's help. All right, see you guys. Peace.